All right, guys. Yeah, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about my top five Google Sheet functions. I find that I use these functions almost every single time when I'm working, on Google Sheets. And if you're someone who works in an organization where you're very heavy on Google Sheets, you are going to love what I'm about to share with you. You're going to love what I'm about to share with you. So you're going to find the data set, on the link underneath this video, and we'll start right away. So first on my list is the import range formula, the import range function. Let me show you a little bit of it. Import range. Yeah, the import range function. Sorry, let me change that to import range. Yes. So, and as the name implies, import and then range. So you are trying to import, a range of data, from one sheet into another sheet. You're trying to import a range of data from one sheet into another sheet. So let's get to it right away. So in this sheet here, I have like a project management data, you understand, that has different kinds of projects and, their tax and all that. So let's say it's an organization where, they keep adding new projects to this sheet. And for some reason, I want to keep track of what is going on. Maybe I want to analyze it to get the overall progress of the entire projects in the system, maybe as the program manager, But I don't want to do that analysis on this particular sheet, maybe because it doesn't belong to me. So I want to create my own sheet for analysis, but I want to be able to take, this data live as it's changing, without having to manually populate the other sheet. So this is what I mean, right? So let's get to it right away. So let's say this is what some people will do. They'll copy this, and then paste it over here. And let's say there's a new data, maybe from a new field, a new team, maybe logistics, and maybe the step is get costs of vehicles, and then maybe it's handled by maybe, let's say, Tom also. And let me just borrow these dates and the rest of it, Now, if you're in a situation where it's constantly changing, like we can see that we don't have the next project here. Let me delete this. You can see that we don't have the 48th project here because it's not been linked. So what do we do if this will constantly change and we don't want to keep, coming to this sheet to manually copy and paste, That's what import range, helps you to fix. So let me quickly run the function. So let's get to it right away. First of all, I want us to look at the syntax for the import range function. So we get to understand how to structure the inputs when we want to use it. So first of all, looking at this, you need the URL address of the sheet where you're trying to take data from, and then you need the name of the actual sheet within the Google Sheet that you're going to be picking the data from, with the range, the exact area within the sheet that you need the data for, depending. You can reference the entire sheet if you want, but it's just best to, focus on what you want exactly, so you don't have to pull in lots of redundant information from the other sheet. So let's do this. So copy the URL and then first this quotation mark, and now I need the actual name. So what I do is I just double click and then copy so that I don't make any mistakes, because let's say there's a space between the words the way we have it here. If I don't put that space, then I won't be referencing this actual sheet. So I just double click and then I copy, open with a quotation also, followed by this exclamation mark. And the data set that I need is what? B to H. So I want to reference this entire thing because as time goes on, more data will be added at the bottom and I don't want to miss anything. So I just reference everything, so B to H. And then I close with this and enter. Absolutely. And when you're doing it for the first time, actually, it's going to ask you to allow access to the sheet. So once you have to do that, and once you do that, that's fine. So this is it. So I've been able to import everything into this sheet. Now, the brilliant thing about this is that let me go on and then maybe update a new project in my previous sheet. So let's call it something like HR, and let's say performance improvement project. So let's say it's handled by Sam, and then let me just copy, the dates. Good. Now the beautiful thing is this: I don't have to update this other sheet. Whatever is being done in the previous sheet just comes here automatically. And I find it to be very helpful because it's automated and I don't need to replicate, the step of having to copy and paste. And with this, I can build a dashboard with this data set. I can do whatever I want with it. So that's it on Importrange. Cheers, and thanks for watching.